I was wrong about the Bitcoin dump, but I'm telling you, silver is never going to dump. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you are. Thank you for watching this video. My name is Da Vinci Jeremy. I'm in the pipe 5x5, man. Guys, you know what? Bitcoin might be joining the silver party soon, but you know what? I don't think we were there yet. Looking at silver, why is it never going to correct? Why is there not going to be any correction? This has gone too far, too fast. How's that possible that it cannot correct? Well, it's quite simple. I'm going to give you that point, but before I do, we're going to be talking about Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana trade. Then we're going to move on to gold and finally the silver and explain why it's not going to correct as we do the charts analysis and figure out what we're going to do for a trade. Okay, let's move on to the charts right now. All right, as I said, we're going to start with the Bitcoin chart. And if you're interested in trading this, make sure you head over to x.dj15.com. That's x.dj15.com. Links in the description below where you can choose the exchange that you want to go with based on the country that you're in. And so, yeah, certain exchanges will work in certain places, right? So this will help you decide on which exchange works best for you. Right, there you go. Okay, let's take a look at the Bitcoin chart. And as you can see, we are breaking out. Now, I did say, right, if we zoom out a little bit here, that, hey, let's wait for a re-entry down here. So I closed out the trade and yeah, it just went higher. And so now it's going straight to the target, which I was looking at, which was 90K-ish, the 90.5K, and there we are. We're almost just a stone's throw away from that. Honestly, yeah, I didn't think Bitcoin doesn't like V bottom, so I figured we would come back down, retest its lows, and see if hey, yeah, do you really want to bounce off that? But hey, it did, clearly did, and then that's it. We are now headed higher. We were originally like just a little bit below, so we wouldn't have been if we had stops to break even. Which, if you did that, you didn't get stopped out, and boom, we are here now. And congratulations if you did stop to break even when I should have done the same thing, really. But whatever, right? I guess it was because you know what, I took a couple of losses and I just wanted to take a win, but that's the way the world works. Okay, so with that said. Moving on, let's take a look at where this is going, right? As I said, we'll probably top out at the 90.5K, but if we don't and we head and we break to the 91,270-ish area and we break above that, we'd have to break above that and really to see if we can go all the way to 96 to retest to blast up to 100K. It's a lot of work. Once we break above the 91,270, we still have to get up to the 93.5, and then once we're there, we can easily say, okay, 96 is a walk in the park. But between there and here and there, I don't see that happening, guys. It's a tough road, man. Tough road for Bitcoin, but it is what it is. Looking at Ethereum again is trying to retake this downward trend line again. We were battling the once support that turned into resistance, and it looks like it broke up above that. So I would not be surprised if we come back to retest this level before we go higher. Because it's such a key resistance. And if we hold that level, then we should see us come back up at least to you see here, look at that. If we break above the 3,068, that could take us all the way back up. Wow, all the way back up to approximately $3,200. Wow, that's interesting. Let's see what it does from here on out. All right, looking at Solana. Solana, same thing. We're looking at the next resistance level, which is the $133 level that it's going to probably take out. Let's see. You know what? Solana and silver, their prices are quite similar. Let's see if who's going to get to $133 first. Be interesting to see that. I don't know. Will it get to the $133 before silver does? Most likely. But yeah, I think silver is going to eventually pass the Solana. So if you have Solana and you're thinking, I want to ride this train, yeah, you might want to think about buying some silver with your Solana if you want to just jump horses. I don't know if that's a good idea though, but to each their own. Do your own research, of course. Looking at gold. Wow. Gold is on such a massive tier. Take a look at this 14 EMA. This is a key level that, when I trade this, usually on a 4-hour basis, this only allows the price action. Once it breaks the 13 EMA. When price breaks the 13 EMA and breaks out from it, it usually comes close to it, comes sideways and goes close to it, and then breaks, and then it finally breaks the 13 EMA and breaks down a little bit, and then it goes higher. And if it does go higher, it doesn't break the 13 EMA, there's usually only one specific move higher, and then once it touches the 13 EMA, that's it. It's a breakdown. But as you can see, it's just saying no on the 4-hour, which is not normal, right? We usually see a breakdown of the 13 EMA, right? As we touch through most of the times, right? Where, right here, for example, we break higher and then fail, and then it breaks down. Not this time. And it didn't break down that much the last time. Jesus. Right? So, you can see that here. It breaks. And so gold across the board is just staying above the 13 EMA, very little time below it. And so that indicates something. That indicates we are in a forever bull run, basically. So there is no top for gold because there is no bottom for the dollar. It is what it is. And the same applies for silver. For those of you who are wondering when is silver going to correct, odds are it will never correct at this point in time. Okay, now taking a look at silver, we can see that silver on its above the EMA ribbon, and it's staying above that. And on the 4-hour, very little time below the EMA ribbon on the 4-hour since let's see here, November, when this was a scam situation, thanks to the Crimex. So what's going on? You might say since November. We haven't had a significant time below the 13 AMA, and what would be constitute a correction? I think about a 30% pullback, 20 to 30% pullback would be a nice correction in this particular asset class. And I don't think we're going to get that huge correction this time around, only because the dollar is doomed. If we see that correction, you're probably not going to be able to buy physical silver at that price, and only we'll see that correction if there's some sort of catastrophic event, such as another pandemic, which seems to be coming out of India, or there is some catastrophic event that affects worldwide, such as a cyber attack or something like that. So other than that, silver will continue to run nonstop until either, the dollar collapses and then it doesn't have any value in There's nobody's willing to buy it, sell it to you in dollars. Or there's some sort of issue with where everybody sells their assets to get dollars, right? So those are the two indications, right? But then any kind of pullback, major enough, you're never going to buy, right? I even find it hard to buy now at $112. If you ask AI, how does this hold up compared to collapsing currency, you can see that not only just because gold and silver are going up, you could have said, well, you could have said that in the 79 and 80s, right, when gold and silver were running like crazy. Yeah, but there was a little bit more of a difference between now and then. One, fiscal deficits have risen to a point where there's no chance of paying it back. Also, right, there's so much fraud that's clear and present to everybody. Also, there is a trade deficit. Also, there's so much fraud going on. It's not funny. And then on top of that, silver has been used up and there's not much left. So effectively, as people are buying this as a monetary hedge, the actual physical silver is disappearing. And that's the problem. So those people who are saving it as a monetary hedge, they're not going to put it back on the market if there's a correction. It's just the way it is. Alrighty, so silver probably not going to correct. If it does correct, it will be because somebody managed it that way. Plandemic or a managed, cyber attack is the only way we're going to see silver down. So with that said, you might want to know where it's going next. Well, you can see the parking garages pretty much tell you exactly where it's going next. If we were to take a look at the RSI, we're probably, there's no RSI on this. You can probably see that this is kind of like going to roll over a little bit. So we could see this thing dip once again into the EMA. And then we're going to see it go above the $120 mark, or at least touch the $120 mark before we see any kind of retracement again. And then we can go as high, moving above the 120, you can go to 127 pretty fast. So might even get out to beat out Ethereum. I mean, it's not Ethereum, it's Solana. Solana in the short term, but let's just take a look. Let's just wait and see. This is still moving target, and I think silver will outperform everything this year. And I know you're thinking, how could that be? Right? This is not possible. I know there's too much information. There's lots of evidence, right? There's plenty of people out there. Plenty of people who's made it their lives work to explain how the manipulation has worked, how silver has been suppressed, how silver has been used up, and there is no more. And they have clear and absolute evidence. And even if you don't believe their evidence, you have to believe the fact that JP Morgan, a lot of their traders went to jail, and JP Morgan was fined $4 billion for manipulating silver. That's out there in the news. You could check that out, right? So you know that it was happening, right? You can't deny it. You have to be the person that goes, no, like child, right? That to not look into this and make the choice that's clear. Yes, silver is a good bet. It's an asymmetric bet just as much as Bitcoin, period. And it will outperform Bitcoin and everything else this year, even gold. And it already has. All right, well, thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.